So this past spring, I went to Nepal with the Maya Gold Foundation. We went to Kathmandu, and I went with 15 other teens, and they were all from my high school, and I knew of them, or like kind of knew them, but I wasn't like really close to any of them. So we had a lot of preparation leading up to the trip, and we did many meetings, and at the end of all the meetings, I felt extremely prepared and was super excited, but I was a little bit worried about the people, like not the people, but just I hadn't really known them for that long, and I didn't really know anyone that close. But I was just amazed with how quickly I connected with everyone because we were sharing the same experience. And not only did we connect with each other in Nepal, but we brought it back home and kept it going in school, and we formed this family type bond with each other. So the Maya Gold Foundation's mission is to empower youth to access their inner wisdom and realize their dreams. And the purpose of this trip, going to Nepal, was to gain cultural awareness and appreciation, to serve others, gain a greater sense of ourselves in the world, and learn skills to empower and put dreams into actions. Human connection. So human connection gives us a sense of belonging, a support system, and a reason not to feel lonely. And one of my biggest takeaways from this trip, and like what I told people when I got back, was like the happiness that the people shared, and the happiness that people shared despite their circumstances. And also, to connect with others, you might have to step out of your comfort zone and take a risk. And I think it's safe to say I did that this night at the Full Moon Festival. So also another thing about Nepal, they're always celebrating. So we witnessed a lot of celebrations in Nepal. And we actually saw the New Year's celebration on like one of the first nights, and it's nothing like our celebration. It's not just a ball drop. At the Full Moon Festival was this festival that was taking place around the stupa on one of our last days in Nepal. And one night we went out to dinner, that night of the Full Moon Festival. We went out to dinner, and there was like a lot of activity going on. And we were like, oh, we'll check this out after we're done eating. And so there was like little groups forming, and Will, Anika, and I were very intrigued. So we wanted to go take a peek and see what was going on. And this old man really wanted to dance with me. And at first I was like, oh, no, like it's fine, like whatever, we're just trying to see what's going on. But then finally I was like, okay, no, like I'll dance with you. And we just started swaying back and forth. And soon enough there was a whole circle around us, and everyone was taking videos of us. And Will, Anika, and I were just laughing very hard, but then we ran back to the guest house, and we quickly told Matthew, we were like, we have to go back, like, it was so fun, like, everyone needs to see this. And so everyone went back to the stupa, and we all joined right back in, and started dancing and clapping with the Nepali people. And we were stepping out of our comfort zone, and we got this cool experience with the Nepali people. And if we didn't go back out, we wouldn't have seen this. And here's a little clip. Oh shoot. How do we do it?
Put the mouse on the top of the video. It'll pop up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very short, but you get the gist. Himalayan Children's Charities. These were the teams that we spent most of our time with. Himalayan Children's Charities is a nonprofit organization that provides kids with a home and an education. And most of these, all of these kids were orphans or have one parent that can't provide. So on one of our first days, we went to their home and we did these stations that we made, called play shops. And we created them here. That's what we did at some of the meetings. And my station was dance. And we quickly connected and got to share our cultures. I taught them, and we taught them some of our dances. They taught us some of theirs. And by spending time and dancing with them, we created a bond, and we were very close. It seemed like we were close, and I had been friends with them forever. And then when we experienced and explored Nepal together, it was like we had always known each other, so that was nice. So the Ganesh School is where we did some service. I did service there for 3 days, and the kids there were very young, so they didn't speak any English, but we still found ways to connect with them through games, sports, and cards. And I received a card from these 2 little girls that I smiled at in the beginning, and it said, "Hi Quinn, smile please." And I was glad my smile was received by them. And also, the children are just the easiest at making connections because they just really want to play with you and just be around you. So, very easy. This quote I felt resonated with the trip and really brought the trip together. Connection is a magic that is born out of souls feeling at home when they are with each other. So I think the theme of human connection is not only present in the foundation itself, but is very connected to the Nepal trip, because I made so many connections on this trip, not with only the team leaders, but the people in Nepal, the man I danced with under the moon, HTC, the Ganesh School, the team leaders, and all the teams that I traveled with. And then also sharing my stories here at home and sharing them, sharing them with my friends. It just really connects everyone and brings everything together. Any questions?
Was that an orphanage or?
It's a home. HGC, they adopt the orphans and provide them the home and an education. So they're not orphans anymore. Well, they were orphans, but they were adopted. Right?
I was wondering if those children were ready to be adopted or?
No.
Those are 2 more years.
Yeah. Teenagers.
I have 2 questions. Do they have a full moon festival every month?
I don't know. I really don't know, but I probably because they celebrate so much. Every day I felt like there was another festival going on in Nepal.
And you went in April?
Yes.
It seemed to be pretty warm?
It was warm. It was 70s. It was nice.
So the second question was, you said about the cards you get from the little kids. So is it that because they didn't speak English, they would get with somebody else who did speak English and kind of express what they wanted to say to you, and that person wrote it out on their card, and then they could give it to you as a means of communication? Is that what that was?
Yeah, so at the Ganesh School, we brought arts and crafts supplies because we also donated a lot of supplies. So they were just making cards and giving them to people. They knew like English a little bit, so I think they just wrote that on their own probably. But yeah, it was like a means of communication.
Less than a question or a comment, I just noticing that at least on 2 occasions your means of connection is dance.
Yes.
It just seemed, yeah, joyful, like you found a joyful way.
Mhm. No, I think it's very easy to connect over dance. I learned that on the trip. It was very fun.
I'm just wondering, I mean, you chose human connection as your topic because that really resonated with you there. Like out of anything, that really struck you, I'll say, perhaps the most.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, now that you're on the other side and back home and in your, I'll say day-to-day life routine, has something shifted for you with regards to human connection since that fulfilling experience there?
I mean, I've always like wanted to always like connect with people or like make new friends and everything, but I think maybe now I'm just more open to it and like I'll put myself out there a little more maybe.
About the stretching your comfort zone.
Yes, exactly.
Love it. Great.
I have a question. I remember that night really well. That was my best night, my best
It was very
experience,
fun.
that full moon. And I was really concerned being the adult in the supervisory role. I was watching the three of you like a hawk. I don't know if you got that, but did you feel unsafe at all in that crowd?
No, I didn't feel unsafe at all. And even like going with an old man and like dancing with him, I was just like, oh, like, this is totally fine. Like I feel so safe.
Yeah.
But I also never felt unsafe in Nepal. It just was very warming and was happy. I don't know. The people were very open, which is unlike New York, but I was like, okay.
Yeah. And the other thing is maybe just people might be interested if you could talk about the mural. If you want to show that.
Oh yeah. This was the mural that we all worked on, and that's the third day. We went back and we finished it, but there was a mural there before. I think, was it something similar to this?
We tried to make it the same style. It wasn't that exact scene, no.
Yeah.
But it was,
This was just a silhouette of the city of Kathmandu, and we added some color and people, and they're even wearing uniforms. Yes, Santa.
Did you guys design it, or did you like use a design that they gave you?
We designed it.
I see motorcycles up there. Is that the most
Yes.
easy trend?
They're very little cars. Cars are very expensive now.
Do you want to talk about traffic patterns at all?
Oh, well, there's no stoplights. Well, there's like one. And there's no rules of the road, so people are just everywhere. There's cows in the road, dirt roads, obviously. Yeah, people are a little crazy. Our van got stuck on a rock or in a hole, and it was just like, zoom in.
When I went last year, the city was areas of the city were really destroyed from the earthquake. Was it still like that? Like, were areas really just like a mess? Because like the roads there, when we were there, there were just like holes in them, and like there was concrete road there at some point, but now it's like all turned up, and the sidewalks are like sideways and stuff.
I think I saw like a little bit of that, probably not as much as you, but I definitely saw like results of the earthquake. And there was most definitely still holes in the road. Felt those.
So, you said that the full moon festival was like the second to last day or something like that.
It was the last night, actually.
Right, and you felt very comfortable in the crowd and not at all intimidated, and it didn't feel creepy or anything.
No.
So I'm wondering if, kind of due to you having been there for a bit and kind of getting used to that
Yeah.
energy of no boundaries and it's safe and all that, like if that had happened like on day 2, might you have felt very differently about it?
Yes. I think it was because I was so comfortable and I had been around these people for 2 weeks now. That made it that easy to do. But I think that, I don't know, yeah, probably it was just because I was so comfortable. If it happened on the second night, I would be like, maybe a little bit more cautious. Just like, oh, what is this?
But you had gotten a lot from the people there, from the students that you met. You had made a lot of connection and that felt good, so like perhaps by the end,
Yeah.
you were really willing to put yourself out.
Did you take, who took that picture?
I did.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Was there snow in any of the mountains still in April, or?
Not that I saw, yeah. But we went on a,
Is that Mama Buddha, that picture?
yes, I think so. It's the trek, the little trek that we did. Yeah,
Yeah. Treklet.
treklet.
Did you see any poverty that was like disturbing, or did you feel like kind of like helpless at times? Did you see anything that made you feel
Yeah.
kind of like there were situations where people needed more help than you guys were there to do?
Yeah. We had we talked about it before we went, so I was I felt very aware of what was going to be there. But the thing that shook me up the most was when the kids ran after you and kind of grabbed on. I really didn't like that. And I was just like, oh no, I wasn't good with that. But also in the city, I feel like it's a different kind of poverty than what we were hearing about up in the rural areas.
How so? How is it different too?
Well, I think that in the rural areas and the people that went on the trek and what they saw is different because there's less opportunity and they're kind of making a living for themselves out there. Where in the city, it's more people, more things. Any more questions?